All right, continuing along with Article 406 here in the 100 Days of the 2023 NEC Changes, still in Article 406, the next thing we have is 406.6, which talks about receptacle faceplates. Now, you wouldn't think that there's too much to talk about when it comes to faceplates for receptacles, and you're probably right. There's not that many code requirements. Perhaps the biggest issue is the thickness of the faceplate. We don't want a faceplate that's so thick that the attachment plug can barely go into the receptacle and it's hanging out while half of it's energized and exposed to people to drop coins on and what have you. So the thickness of the plate is obviously a big deal. If the faceplate is metal, then it needs to be attached ultimately to an equipment grounding conductor. That's certainly a big deal. And then the other thing that we talk about in faceplates is now we have faceplates with built-in USB chargers, which are kind of cool. And we also have faceplates with built-in night lights, which are also kind of cool, but they have their own special requirements, and that's what this video is going to talk about. 406.6 faceplates. All right, so restrictions on faceplates with night lights or USB chargers were added. I think this thing is just the coolest idea ever. I know my kids are older now, but boy, if I had young kids, I would absolutely own one of these faceplates that has a built-in night light. So a flush device faceplate that also provides a night light or a Class 2 output USB charger must be listed, and it must be constructed so that the circuitry is integral with the faceplate. All right, so the circuitry being integral with the faceplate. I think all we're trying to say there is we don't want to have it rely like on magnetic induction somehow, like some sort of wireless thing, with a magnetic coupling. I don't know. But anyway, let's not get too creative. The circuitry has to be integral with the faceplate. If the contacts rely on spring tension only, then they must be rated 1 watt or less, and may only be used on receptacles with brass terminal screws. All right, so the way these things work, I think it's really clever, is when you push them on, they've got kind of spring tension that goes around the side of the receptacle, and you can see here in the picture how that bites on to the screw terminals on the receptacle and energizes the night light. And then down on the bottom left corner, right down there, you've got a photo eye, a photocell. So when the lights go out and that thing sees darkness, then the night light turns on, and then your kids don't have to be scared of the boogeyman or whatever. So really cool idea. I mean, it's such a clever way to do it. But there are some potential concerns that come along with it. What if the receptacle is mounted with the ground pin facing up versus facing down, and you want the night lights to be facing down like this instead of facing up? Well, then maybe it doesn't quite interface correctly. I'm led to believe, and I'm certainly not going to call anybody a liar, but some of the guys on panel 18, they really looked at these things and they said, look, for some of these, depending on how the receptacle is oriented, then it doesn't line up quite properly. So there are some potential problems here. So this is saying, look, if it relies only on spring contact, spring tension, then they have to be rated 1 watt or less and only be installed on brass screws. This is one option that they have for these faceplates. Another type actually has wire leads that come off of the faceplate and go to the receptacle. That would be another way to do it that does not rely on spring tension. These ones do. And then effective January 1 of 2026, receptacles with steel terminal screws are allowed if the faceplate is listed for them. So as always, read the instructions. See what type of devices the faceplate is listed for. And if it's listed for steel terminal screws, then you can go ahead and use them. So there you go. Nice quick video here talking about 406.6D for faceplates. I can assure you the next video is not going to be a 5-minute video. The next one is going to be on damp and wet locations in 406.9, and there is a lot to talk about on that subject. So I hope I'll see you then. Take care.